The joy in life comes from our interaction with new experiences. Chris McCandless, a.k.a. Alexander Supertramp, he's the main character in the book Into the Wild, which, by the way, is my favorite book of all time. So, should be mandatory reading, but that's my opinion. So my story Into the Wild, which I have many of them, even a Mount Marcy story, I heard that earlier. My son and I climbed to the top of that in the middle of winter and dug a snow cave and slept in it overnight and then climbed back down. But that's another story. My story started with a student, actually, whose parents are here tonight. He was this string bean kid in 8th grade. When the wind blew, he fell down because he was that skinny. And he was squirrely. To me, he was just like the perfect kind of kid because he's a little bit nuts. And he picked up a mountain biking book I had laying on my desk. And he took it with him and looked through it. Comes in and goes, "Hey, I can mountain bike." I'm like, "Oh, yeah?" "Yeah, it looks easy." "I'll take you." So I took him mountain biking for his first time in 8th grade up at Rocky Ridge. He found out it is definitely rocky. The first 30 minutes, he was on the ground like 7 times. I stopped counting because I felt bad. But he came back for more. And the biking bug bit him. We ended up turning into biking buddies. We rode together in the summers every week. When we would have 2-hour delays or snow cancellation days, we would meet at Rocky Ridge and ride there before they closed the park. It was just standard. It's what we did. One of us got the idea, I don't know which one it was, that we were going to ride from his house beside Rudy Park down the rail trail the whole way to the end in Maryland and back. Could have been either one of us that came up with a dumb idea like that. It was a new experience. It was February. The northern extension of the rail trail wasn't even complete yet. Matter of fact, the part that runs beside the Cadorus Creek there still had, I call them baby head rocks on them, like this big. But we rode across them, and we hooked up with the completed part in New York City, and we were heading south. Our water froze in the top of the water bottles. We didn't have any food with us because who would bring that? I mean, geez. But we're riding, we're having a good time. We get into Maryland. Well, it's downhill then. So we go downhill to the very end. We're starving. We had money, no food with us. We find a Dunkin' Donuts. We went in and gorged ourselves. We came out, we had food babies. But we got back on the bike. Now, riding long distances, it's difficult for a young rider. You know, it takes a special kind of mindset to do that. And my riding buddy, Nate, he was starting to waver a little bit. But I'm thinking to myself, we're on a rail trail. It's mostly flat. Remember I said, once you enter Maryland, to the end, it's downhill? Now it was all uphill. So we're riding back through, going towards New Freedom. And we passed this lady. She was on a 2-wheeled wagon. And I looked and looked. It appeared to me that the wagon was being pulled by a goat. But I didn't say anything. Nate comes up beside me. And I look out and go, "Was that lady in a wagon?" He goes, "Yep." I go, "Was it being pulled by a goat?" He says, "That or a dog." Then he reminded me that he was starting to get tired, not feeling good. You never look at someone and say to them, "Dude, you're starting to bonk. You're not going to make it." That was the last thing I was going to tell him, the truth. I said, "You're fine. Let's just get up here to New Freedom." So we get to New Freedom. He's like, "I can't make it." I'm like, "Oh, you're okay. Come on. Let's just get to Glen Rock." So we get to Glen Rock. And he's dying. And I knew we were in trouble, but I had to stop in mind. I said, "Oh, you can make it. Let's just get to Hanover Junction." And then we'll call the SAG wagon to come pick us up, which is Nate's mom, who's here tonight. Not the first time she ever picked us up, but at any rate. So we get to Hanover Junction. Now, why Hanover Junction? I did mention it was February, right? Hanover Junction has heated bathrooms. That's why I wanted to get to Hanover Junction. So we get to Hanover Junction. Now, Nate's a junior in high school. I'm a teacher in the school district. We go into the bathroom. Not the best moment, but it was that or freeze. Call Nate's mom. Hey, we're at Hanover Junction. Come pick us up. Knock on the bathroom door, because that's where we're at. Since then, Nate has graduated. He went to North Carolina near Asheville to college. I miss him dearly. I look forward to the times when he comes home. And believe it or not, we've been talking about Thanksgiving and attempting this again.